walk out on that field today, ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. They can be hit just like us. He's a man. You ought to make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We made it. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
I'm not there. I am. It's just getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E and streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3. If you got a Roku streaming device, download BS3 TV and check out all of the great content. Man, I had a great time with the fellas last night on the Fourcast, and that's FOURCAST. That was a show I was on. We were going over the reviews of 13th. Which is about the 13th Amendment. You can check it out on Netflix. And I'm going to tell you, that movie had me fired up. Oh, my gosh. I'm going to watch it again and again and again. I told him last night, man, I was determined to watch Black Panther and the Book of Eli as many times as I could in support of those writers and actors and what have you. I got to watch 13th over and over again. There is information in that we, people of color, Black folks, that we need. So be sure and check it out. All right, it's Talk Your Team Tuesday. Yeah, I had to give them a little love today, man. Everybody's talking about Jackson State. Everybody's talking about Grambling. I had to give somebody else in the SWAC some love, so I decided to go Alabama A&M. So want to see what they got to do to replace Akil Glass at that quarterback spot, because if I'm not mistaken, let me pull up my SWAC rankings. Pull up my SWAC rankings right here and see if I've got in the East, Jackson State, FAMU, and then I got Alabama A&M right there. In the West, I've got Alcorn, Prairie View, Southern, and then Grambling. And then overall in the SWAC, I got Jackson State number 1, FAMU number 2, Alcorn. I don't know why I'm trying hard not to say Alcorn, because that's not it. It's Alcorn. But anyway, I got them number 3. I got Alabama A&M number 4 overall in the SWAC. And again, it's all predicated on them replacing the quarterback who should be on a squad in the NFL. I don't know why they're playing around with this man and not giving him a shot, but Akil Glass is who I'm talking about. All right, Yard Talk HBCU. Got to have you on the show, brother. Not too much on Grambling. Me either. I think they're extremely hyped about Hugh Jackson. I'm not sure if Hugh is going to be everything that they think he is. And with all that Grambling's got going on right now, they don't need another debacle with a poor season in the SWAC. We had Doug Williams on yesterday with the coach Johnny Cole and the HBCU Stroll. Some eye-opening comments that the legendary HBCU football player Doug Williams had to say yesterday. He literally said he came out on the field, or he came out and he put names on 4 parking spaces for his coaches and what have you. And the then president walked out on his practice field and told him he didn't own nothing around there and he couldn't be marking off parking spaces. The next day they brought him in and told him they were going in a different direction, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of these university presidents, some of these athletic directors, namely the athletic director at Grambling, man, they need to check themselves. I'm with you, Yard Talk, man. I'm just saying, like, how do you, and it's not like the dude didn't win 1, 2, 3 SWAC championships. It's not like he didn't win them. So it's not like he can't coach, but it's just power. Power is addictive. Power and a title, man. You get people that will lose their mind. I do it sometimes. I know I've been guilty of it. But man, some of these university presidents at HBCU, some of these athletic directors, man, they need to just swallow and go sit down somewhere. Doug said it yesterday that was amazing. He said, when you win the SWAC championship and, they have the trophy presentation after the game, the first 2 people on the podium are going to be the president and the athletic director. Not the coach, not the players, but the president and the athletic director, man. Hey. But anyway, we do need more women in those positions, and we need more people in those positions that understand the value of the sports departments in the school and not just think that they are, but I know they want to be academically strong. I know they want to be leaders in research and things like that. I get it. But if they haven't figured out what a lot of the PWIs have figured out, you don't have those problems at Bama. Not because of Nick Saban. You don't have those problems at Bama because the football department, the football team is bringing in close to $1 billion. So you don't have that problem. No president is going to run out there and tell Nick Saban he can't put the names of 4 coaches on parking spaces because they understand the economics. They work with the athletic department, not against the athletic department. You don't have that problem at Ohio State. You don't have somebody running out there telling Ryan Day he can't carve out 4 parking spaces for coaches because they understand the economics and the benefit of what that athletic department brings to that school, so they can have research facilities, so they can have, strong programs, and so they can be the kind of academic institution because they're not sinking all their money into that because they're getting a lot of money from the athletic department too. So yeah, man, I'm with you. More women balance the energy. I'm just saying. I'm just it as the dude does on TikTok. It just is what it is. Donna Coleman Holman, my sister, a veteran of our armed forces. Again, thank you for your service, sis. Thank you for your sisterhood and your friendship. She says, hey, AJ Jones, yes, Johnny Cole's show is just great. I enjoyed yesterday's show. Doug Williams was so honest about his experience. I told Coach Cole, man, you got to have him back on. That was like the appetizer. You got to have him back on, especially when they hire another coach for their volleyball team, especially if something happens with their athletic director, which to me, it possibly could. I know this president is new. I know he doesn't want to make a, big change like that in athletics, but man, if Dr. Scott ain't getting the job done, I mean, to me, he's got 2 major strikes, unforced errors on his resume. The Hugh Jackson, Art Browse thing, unforced error. You didn't have to have that problem. And the situation that's starting to evolve and come out about Chelsea, Coach Chelsea, it sounds like he was the instigator of all of that, and she was taking the rap for it. So We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Doug Williams was giving us a warning. Absolutely. Absolutely. And he's not the only one. He's not the only one. Dr. Charles McClellan is my frat brother, and he's doing a good job with the SWAC. But when he was at TSU, he made a lot of mistakes. He overreacted with Coach Johnny Cole. Overreacted with Coach Johnny Cole. In fact, let me do this. Y'all stay right there. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to take a quick break. And when I come back from my break, I want to play you a clip of the championship game from 2010 in the SWAC when Coach Johnny Cole led the TSU Tigers to their first SWAC championship in over 40 years. We'll do that when we come back right here on the lunch break, powered by Jones Media and Entertainment.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right. Hey, we're only 4 days away from the Cinematic Affair. 4 days away from the Cinematic Affair on July the 16th. It'll be a great movie premiere, 2 of them actually, on July 16th. Go to thecinematicafair.com for tickets. Thecinematicafair.com for tickets. There'll be a social on Friday, the red carpet event, and 2 premiere showings of 3 short films, The Book of Aries, The Perry Games, and the movie that I'm in, Soulmates. Be 2 showings of that on the 16th. And then on the 17th, there'll be a brunch with the actors and writers and producers and everything. So it'll be a great time. Again, go to thecinematicafair.com for tickets, and it'd be great to see you there. All right. I promised you before the break, I was going to show you a clip. I made a statement that President Charles McClellan, when he was the athletic director at Texas Southern University, overreacted about some minor infractions that took place on the football team. And, I guess he called himself trying to get ahead of the NCAA. Well, the NCAA didn't come back with the same findings that he did. And, unfortunately, they never gave Coach Cole another chance. But let me put facts in front of that. And here we go. Here's the clip on Coach Johnny Cole in the championship game in 2010.
Alabama State was a confident team as they entered Legion Field to take on Texas Southern in the SWAC championship game, but Rico Smalls was the story early on. Smalls, starting in place of Arvell Nelson at quarterback for TSU, leads the Tigers down the field on the opening possession of the game. Martin Gilbert gets into the end zone. Texas Southern has a 6-0 lead. Meanwhile, Devin Dominguez of Alabama State had a nightmarish game. He's picked off here late in the first quarter by Zach Gallo. Gallo nearly turns it into a pick 6, but he's brought down, and Texas Southern is back in business, but Bama State catches a break early in the second quarter. Marcus Wright fumbles at the goal line. DeMarcus Taylor recovers. Alabama State dodges a bullet for a play. That's because Quindarius McKibbins gets drilled in the end zone by Marcus Jackson. That's a safety, and Texas Southern leads 8-0. Meanwhile, on offense, TSU continued to move the ball up and down the field. Smalls didn't look like a young man who found out only hours before kickoff that he would be starting at quarterback. Robert Hirsch caps off this drive with a 28-yard field goal. TSU leads 11-0 at the half, and it's almost time for the Tiger faithful to celebrate. But first, we got to show you DeJuan Fulgham, the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. And boy, did he show his stuff at Legion Field in Birmingham. Fulgham with 10 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 sacks, and 1 pass breakup on the day. Just another typical day at the office for number 44. But Dominguez would lead Alabama State on a comeback in the fourth quarter. It's 4th down. He hits Nick Andrews, and Andrews gets inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal for Bama State. Another 4th and goal conversion attempt is broken up by that man again, DeJuan Fulgham. And Alabama State is held at bay. They are denied. The Hornets get one more shot at it with less than 2 minutes to play. Dominguez hits T.C. McWilliams in the back of the end zone. With $1:20 to play, it's 11-6. It comes down to the onside kick, and Texas Southern recovers. Johnny Cole can take the Gatorade shower and celebrate as Texas Southern wins the SWAC championship for the first time in 42 years. TSU over Alabama State, 11-6. I'm Sam Smith. Inside the game.
All right, Sam Smith, Inside the Game. Thank you for that that clip, and thank you for allowing us to air it. First time that they won the SWAC championship in 43 years. In 43 years. Last time they won the SWAC championship ever, because they were straight trash after that. They weren't even competitive after firing Coach Cole. And again, the NCAA came back with minor infractions instead of major infractions, but the damage had already been done because my frat brother and the commissioner of the SWAC overreacted. And instead of waiting to see and showing some faith in the football coach that brought them their first SWAC championship in 43 years, he fired the man, he blackballed the man, and now they have been straight trash ever since. Good coaches that came behind him, good people, but they have never and not been able to do what Coach Cole has been able to do. One thing I'll give Grambling some credit about, when they fired Doug, or when Doug left, they allowed him to come back. Now, then they ended up doing the stupid stuff. But again, to me, if I'm Kevin Granger, the athletic director of Texas Southern University right now, I swallow my pride and I make it right from what was done wrong, and I bring Coach Cole back. He didn't ask me to say this. He didn't ask me to do it. I'm not doing it because he's my frat brother and he's my friend. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do, because it's Talk Your Team Tuesday. And again, we've had too many of these HBCUs, athletic directors, and presidents allow their pride, allow their ego, allow their narcissism to get in the way of working in unison with their football department, with their basketball department, with their baseball and softball, their track department. Those departments can help generate revenue for the university as well as students for the university. People who are athletes are also students, and they decide to come to schools based on the success of their programs. Coach Deion Sanders at Jackson State is getting people because A, they know he can coach. B, they know he can win. And oh yeah, by the way, guess what they're going to do? They're going to contribute to the financial wherewithal of the university, whether it just be through merchandise, whether it be through ticket sales, whether it be through something. They're going to affect the bottom line of those HBCUs. And again, man, I'm not coming at all athletic directors. I'm not coming at all HBCU presidents, but there are some out there that really, they need a huge check in humility. A huge check. Yard Talk, you didn't take over, brother. I'm seriously, I mean it when I say I'm glad to have you on today. Would love to have you on the show as a guest. Would love to have you on as a guest. So again, that was just random. I didn't have that planned today. I had it queued up because I surprised Coach Cole with it behind the scenes yesterday. I said, Coach, guess what? I found something on you, and I hit it. And, man, he was just sitting there in awe. He was sitting there in awe. And then he gave me some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that those clips didn't show. The quarterback finding out just hours before the game that he was going to go and played one hell of a game. And then that number 44, man, that defensive player, he talked about the heart of that young man. And see, again, it's people like that, players like that, to Yard Talk HBCU's point, I would love to see them go on, do what they're doing in life. But then when there's time to, do something else, that they look at coming back to their alma maters, not just as head coaches, but as athletic directors, as school presidents, because they understand the importance of the dynamic and the relationship between those groups. So, again, Yard Talk, yeah, I'm going to take you up in that. You listen, I'm going to be in your DMs after the show. Real talk. Real talk. I'm hitting you up. All right. So y'all listen to me. I got to take another break. When we come back, we'll talk about some other things. A lot going on in the world of sports. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday. When I come back, y'all tell me who's your favorite team and what do you think they're going to do this year in their respective season? Who's your favorite team and what do you think they're going to do this season in their respective leagues? All right, we'll do that when we come back right after this on the lunch break, powered by Jones Media and Entertainment and streaming live on Roku, courtesy of this group right here, BS3 TV.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right, just like I said, 4 days away from the cinematic affair. I'm telling you, those short films are going to be fire, so you don't want to miss it. Come out and support your guy right here. Again, I'm in a movie called Soulmates, and I mean, you're going to be surprised at the roles I play, so please come on by and be with us. You can go to thecinematicafair.com, thecinematicafair.com, get your tickets, come out. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, listen, Yard Talk, you said, I don't understand why HBCUs think that they can neglect a large block of our universities. Crazy. We got to figure it all out, man. We got to figure out not just the academics, but the economics, and not just the economics, but the athletics, and not just the athletics, but the other departments. It's like a family. You can't just ignore, one son or daughter because they're different. You can't minimize their value. That's its own entity. I went to a PWI. I went to Tulane University. And I remember in the orientation at Tulane, they said, we're like a city in the city. We're in the heart of New Orleans, Louisiana. We're in uptown New Orleans, Louisiana. And, this was the head of the campus police department. And he said, we're like a city inside the city. He said, and we take care of our own. He said, if you get out there and you get in trouble, you find yourself in trouble. Now, he wasn't talking to just the athletes now. This was in our freshman orientation. He said, you let them know that you are a member of Tulane University. They're going to call us. We'll come. We'll get you, and we'll navigate you through the process. And I just thought that, I was like, wait a minute now. I mean, if I do something wrong in the city, or I'm accused of something in the city, I can tell them I'm from Tulane. And they're going to come and they're going to take. Now, I never tried it. I don't know if that included black kids. I didn't risk it. I did not risk it. My point in saying that was Tulane University understood the value of the university family. They understood the importance of the freshmen. They understood the importance of the sophomores. They understood the importance of junior, senior, grad students on up. But they also understood the importance of the engineering department and the architect department and the, and the pre-med department and the, the criminal justice. They understood the importance of all of that. And the president at that time, Dr. Eamon Kelly, made sure that all of those different pieces of that university family felt like they were a part of the family. True. It's just the truth. He was one of the good presidents. There was a huge basketball scandal when I was there where they literally had point shaving going on. John Hot Rod Williams and a couple of other players who didn't make it into the NBA, were accused and found guilty of point shaving. Dr. Eamon Kelly shut the basketball department down for 2 seasons. But guess what? He didn't ostracize anybody. He didn't ostracize anybody. He held people accountable. But when Perry Clark came back and helped restart the basketball program at Tulane, guess what? There were kids there ready to help start that pro. And I'm not talking about walk-ons. I'm talking about scholarship athletes. Why? Because Dr. Eamon Kelly understood the importance of it. He knew that right now the most important thing didn't need to be basketball. The most important thing needed to be healing from that situation that took place and putting things in place to make sure that that didn't happen again. And then when it was time to restart, guess what? There was no bigger supporter of the basketball program than Dr. Eamon Kelly. I like that, bro. This is strong. Many hands make the load light. I feel that. But again, man, on some of these campuses, you got egotistical behavior, you got narcissistic behavior in the wrong places. Think about the president is here, the athletic director is here, and all the sports go up to that bottleneck of the athletic director. So if you got an athletic director that's narcissistic, that's egotistical, that likes to play favorites, that likes to show people that they're in control, then the president is going to get bad and limited information. So that one person can shape the view of the person who needs the right information to make the best decision for everybody involved. And if you don't have the right person there, then guess what? It's going to be tough for everybody that person doesn't like, because the president is more than likely going to lean towards the direction that they're being led by the bad athletic director. I don't know why I'm on this today, but I just am. So anyway, all right, who's your favorite team? Yard Talk, who's your favorite team? Any sport. Keith Hennick, I know you are a big-time Tampa Bay Buccaneer, San Antonio Spur fan. San Antonio got beat up on in summer league play by the Rockets last night, 97-84. And finally, the young man who was the number 3 overall pick in the most recent NBA draft, Jabari Smith out of Auburn, showed up last night. 19 points, had 9 rebounds, and shot 50% or better from the field and from 3. So that young man gave everybody a glimpse of what it looks like he'll be able to do. I really do have him penciled in as the starter for the Rockets this upcoming season at the 4. Because then they can put Sengun in at the 5. If they want to, they can move Jashawn Tate down to the 3 because that's a more natural position for him. He's an undersized 4. He's strong, and he can bang down there with the best of them. But you can't teach size. So he'll be a stronger 4. And then you go with your backcourt of Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win 50 games, but they're going to win more than what they won last year. I think they're going to be in the lottery one more season. And if they get that big man out of France, if the Rockets get that big man out of France, listen. Yard Talk, nah, it ain't bad. It ain't bad. He says, is it bad that I don't have any professional sports team favorites? No. I do college. I do good high school. So whatever you got, I think I can talk about it. All right, Keith Hennick got in. He says, let me see. The Bucks are going to do extremely well this year. Maybe a Super Bowl. Boy, he is ambitious. My beloved Spurs continue to lose ground, but they will be back in a couple of years. I'm giving it 5 years. I know they don't usually get that long, and that's why I asked the question, is Pop going to be around to see this rebuild through? Is Pop going to be around for 5 years to see this rebuild through? Now, remember, the Spurs were the ones that went from worst to first when they had David Robinson, and, in the draft, they got Tim Duncan, and they went from worst to first. Again, this young man out of France could be a transformational player like Tim Duncan was, and you put him under arguably the best coach in the NBA, and you got something. You got something, especially if he allows Coach Pop to coach him up the way that Coach Pop can. They could, I say 5 years, it could happen in 2 or less. But I just feel like if it's just natural attrition, let's say they don't get the young man out of France and it's just natural attrition, I'm saying 5, man. I'm just saying, I'm saying 5. And I don't know if Coach Pop is going to be around that long. As far as the Bucks go, I agree. They've got as good a shot as anybody to win a Super Bowl this upcoming season. And for everybody who's saying, no, with Bruce Arians gone, there's going to be drop-off. There's no way Todd Bowles can be as good as Bruce Arians was. Y'all forget Todd Bowles made the Jets a 10-6 team, and in the playoffs with a budget that's cheaper than Walmart. I mean, Todd Bowles got the Jets to 10-6, and were they in the playoffs or just outside the playoffs, I think. And he did that with a guy who literally was not spending any of the money on players. He couldn't do it for long, but he did it. Keith Hennick said Pop will probably call it quits. After next year. I want Tim Duncan to take that job. You know what? I said this last Thursday with Chris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review. I don't care what the Spurs do coaching wise now. They blew it with me. Now, again, I'm nobody. I don't matter as far as that goes. I'm somebody to, my children and my family, and that's all that matters. But when San Antonio was either not serious about Becky Hammon being the heir apparent to Greg Popovich, and something changed in that dynamics, I don't care. I don't care who the next coach of San Antonio. I mean, good for them, good for them. But I just won't be up and down about it. I'll announce it, I'll cover it, but they had a prime opportunity to do something special. And I'm not minimizing Coach Pop as an ally of social justice issues, racism, police brutality, but we talked about it last night on the forecast. And I'm, again, this is turning into a Freestyle Friday show. I was asked the question of what would you say to our allies that we need to do now after having watched the movie 13th, about the 13th Amendment. And my comment was that our allies have to do more than talk about how bad it is. They got to do more than say, oh, I can't believe that, or that's wrong. Or even worse, they've got to do more than try to tell me as a Black man how I should feel about systemic racism, police brutality, social injustices against people of color, redlining, lack of health care, and even being treated differently in hospitals with the care that we're given because we're Black. I say that you got to do more than just feel bad about it. You got to do more than just speak up about it to me. You got to now change your conversation partner. Stop telling me and other black people how we should feel, and go tell the people that you know that don't feel like we do how they should feel. Go tell them how wrong they are. Start calling your influential friends and politicians and governors and police captains and bankers and real estate agents and builders. Go start calling them and lobbying for us in those circles. Be the defender of our culture in rooms that we don't even get into. Got to do more. And I say that to say, yeah, Pop has been outspoken and Pop has used his platform, but when he got to the door of being able to do something that is long overdue, for some reason, he let that door close. For some reason, he let that door close. And I don't know the details, so I'm not going to rake him over the coals, but I'm not excited about Tim Duncan getting that job. I'm not excited about some other former NBA player or wannabe coach getting that job. Good for them. But again, coach of all people, watch this. If not Coach Pop, then who? If Coach Pop wasn't gonna get it done, then who? And if R.C. Buford or whoever the other powers that be with the Spurs told him that the time was not right, then I wish he would have said something. I wish he would have said something. To Yard Talk's point, that's when they get quiet. They get quiet when I tell you, you got to increase your investment. You got to invest in this situation now where you go put your relationships with them on the line and stop being willing to sacrifice your relationship with me. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, yeah, I'm a little disappointed in how Coach Pop and the Spurs handled the Becky Hammon situation. I hope there's information that I don't have that will make it make sense, and they don't owe me an explanation. But hey, again, if you think I'm going to be quiet, you got the wrong dude. I'm going to have something to say about it on this platform. Look, on this platform right here, I'm going to have something to say about it. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. I did say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had a good shot to win the Super Bowl. In the NFC, I've already said my top 4 teams in the NFC are the LA Rams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Dallas Cowboys, and I know this team is not in a division, is in the same division as the LA Rams, but I feel like the San Francisco 49ers are going to have another strong year. They're going to have another strong year. Keith Hennig, and that's strong, bro. That is strong, and I'm with you on that. Keith Hennig said, "I disagree. They owe the fans an explanation," and I'm not fighting with you on that. And again, that's where the fans need to speak up. That's where the fans need to speak up. But I'm going to tell you, Keith, we know you got more. Let me find the right words. Chauvinistic fans, friends, family members that, they won't say it strong out loud, but they'll say, well, I mean, do we need a woman coach in men's basketball? Okay, if that's how you feel, why do we have men coaches in women's basketball? Why do we have that? Why are there men coaching women on the high school level, on the college level, and in the pros? Are you telling me that there are not enough qualified women head coaches around the country that can run the high school program, can run a college program, can run a WNBA program? Miss me. Hey, Willie Gibson, my brother, Sodom Noonspa. I purged my brother. How are you, man? I need to get you back on the show. It's been a long time, man. You get your hair done, bro, and get that mani-pedi, and then call me, and let's get on the lunch break and let's chop it up. Because no, the Carolina Panthers ain't gonna do nothing with their little crying wannabe quarterback. No. Hey, okay. Y'all, I got royalty on the show today, man. I've got Willie Gibson. I've got Keith Hennig. I've got my new colleague, Yard Talk HBCU, and now we got the general. We got the general, Mr. Mike Patton, touring the AFC South. I'm telling you, man, I love that dude. I love that dude. Now, Keith, he ain't a Baker homer. I ain't gonna put Willie out there like that. He ain't no Baker homer. In fact, he's being facetious. He's being absolutely facetious. My little sister, colleague, dear friend, one of the best people I've ever met, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, who does stuff with Bally Sports and some other networks. She put a post out there. So is Baker going to go on the revenge tour, or is he going to be the same old Baker? And I said that he is going to be the same old Baker. He's going to start off strong. He's going to fizzle out, but he's going to talk as if he is a legit league MVP candidate and that he had been mistreated in every place he's been. It's going to be everybody else's fault but him. All we're going to hear is how bad they treated him in Cleveland. I don't want to see none of it. All we're going to hear is how bad they treated him in Cleveland. All we're going to hear is how bad Kevin Stefanski did it and how bad Barry did him and how horrible it was to be poor little Baker in the locker room in Cleveland. The people that didn't like him, well, so what? You know, they weren't with him in the first place. He's going to make it all about him, and he's going to start off strong. He's going to have some spectacular games. He's going to make some spectacular plays. And they're going to win about 4 games, 5. About 5 games. And then he's going to blame everybody else because he's Baker Mayfield. That's what's going to happen. Write that one down. Mark it. What's the day? July 12th, 2022. I said it with my chest. And I dare y'all to copy it and send it over to Baker. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Mike Patton touring the AFC South 2 months ago. 2 months until Jackson State versus Tennessee State at the Liberty Bowl for potentially the last time at the Southern Heritage Classic. Yeah, I hope that they figure that out. Yeah, that's going to be solid, man. I'm like Yard Talk. I can't wait for college football. I can't wait to see what happens in the SWAC and the MEAC and the Ohio Valley and the CAA and the SIAC and the CIAA. Did I cover all of them? Did I catch all our schools? Did I say the MEAC? All of them. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Let's see. No, Keith, I meant everything I said. Keith said, we'll see. Baker is underwhelming to me. Now, he's underwhelming to a whole lot of people. He's probably underwhelming to his wife, but, you know, she can't say nothing. Keith Hennick, Sam Darnold will probably be the starter. If Baker Mayfield loses that starting job to Sam Darnold, it's over. It's over. It's over. He's going to be king clipboard for the rest of his career. Mike is definitely that guy. Progressive said they're not doing the commercials about Baker moving to Charlotte. I didn't freeze. Did you see this look on my face? I quit fooling with Progressive because of them doggone at home with Baker. They gave him way too much too soon. I have never seen a more mediocre, underwhelming guy get that much pub and advertisers and sponsorships. I just never seen it. What Baker should do is go back to school and get them damn NIL deals. That's what he should do. I mean, why are we talking? You did not mention the Little 12. What is there to say? I mean, the Big 12, Little 12, they're trying to act like they're players, you know, trying to make phone calls to Pac-12 schools left behind after UCLA and USC made their decisions to act like they got something that to offer the remaining Big 12, Pac-12 schools. And I can't fault them for, you know, trying to look like you're a big dog and you got something to offer. I mean, it's a poor dog won't wag his own tail. But come on now. If we had to rank Power 5 conferences, I'll go, SEC just because, Big Ten, and then it's a drop-off. It's a pick 'em. I guess Big 12, but it's a big gap. You know, I'm not doing the be well and prosper. It's a big gap between 1, 2, and 3. Big gap. So if the Big 12 are right there, so be it. The Pac-12 is there. The ACC non-basketball during the Clemson down years, it ain't nothing to look at. Nothing to look at all. Very mediocre. Pittsburgh, very mediocre. Wake Forest, very mediocre. North Carolina, very mediocre. Miami hadn't been relevant in how long? Duke, are you kidding me? Please. North Carolina State, who? Very mediocre. So, yeah, Little 12 is right. Little 12 is right. Yeah, I love seeing colleague love on this show, man. I love when people come on this show and they give respect and honor to others in the profession, man. I pride myself on that. You're not gonna come on here and talk down on somebody else's work. Not one of my friends. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Keith Hennig said, I agree, the Panthers really don't have a quarterback. They don't. And the fact that Matt Rule is banking his career first on Sam Darnold, then on Baker Mayfield. Nah, bro, you need to come on out. We're not gonna fire you, but just come on out of there. Give us your stuff and thank you. Bump him and then let him go because, bruh, the Carolina fans deserve better. The Carolina fans deserved a better bridge from 15-1 Cam Newton to Kyle Allen to who was the dude that they had before Sam Darnold? Teddy Bridgewater. I love Teddy, but he didn't get it done down there. And then Sam Darnold, and now Baker. Carolina fans deserve a little bit better than that. Baker is starting in Carolina. No way they make this move for him not to start. Doesn't mean he should be. Keith Hennig, you're probably right, Willie. They're going to suck regardless of who's under center. Keith Hennig, Matt Rule is a college coach, period. Well, there'll be opportunities for him in college. There will definitely be opportunities for him in college. What I hate is that he went in there and he's going to ruin the chances for another college coach to get a job like that, because now he is one of those other college coaches that got in there and couldn't get the job done. You know, everybody's talking about Coach Prime, leaving Jackson State to go to a FBS school. A lot of talk is he doesn't need to do that because Jackson State themselves are going to eventually move up to the FBS level, might. But why are we not talking about Coach Prime as an NFL head coach? Why is that discussion not happening? I don't know many guys that have the kind of experience that Coach Prime has as a player and a coach, as well as the kind of success. And again, I know, typically players who were successful in a particular sport don't necessarily translate as great coaches, but we have seen, I think we've got enough evidence that Coach Prime can coach. I think we got enough evidence that Coach Prime can coach. And just because Nick Saban got up there and couldn't handle it, that doesn't put a ceiling over the head of Coach Prime going there and not being able to handle it. Urban Meyer, again, Urban Meyer's failures are not limitations for somebody like a Coach Prime. Far from it. All these people are talking about Peyton Manning being a coach or an offensive coordinator or general manager. Please, what gives him more experience or more chances for success than somebody like a Coach Prime? Coach Prime has done everything that Peyton Manning has done and then some. So, y'all done got me going today. Talk your team Tuesday. I done talk players. I done talk coaches. I done talk sorry quarterbacks. I mean, Baker Mayfield. I done talked it all. Let me take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up right after this on the lunch break, powered by Jones Media and Entertainment.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yeah, the Perry Games, the Book of Aries, and Soulmates are the three movies that will be premiered in 4 days in the Cinematic Affair. Just go to thecinematicafair.com, thecinematicafair.com. Get your tickets for all 3 nights. Friday night will be the mixer and social. I think there's a panel. And then on Saturday will be the red carpet event, along with the 2 premieres of all 3 short films, the Perry Games, the Book of Aries, and the movie that I'm in, Soulmates. And then on Sunday will be a brunch, and you can come through. All right. Again, that's at the cinematicafair.com, thecinematicafair.com. Can't wait to see you there. All right, y'all. Getting ready to wrap this up. Somebody sent me a message like after the show that the Atlanta Braves were the hottest team since some arbitrary random date. And I'm like, the Atlanta who? The Braves. Okay. Let me just go through this real quick because, stats don't lie. I know that was somebody's name of their show. And go to the National League. The Atlanta Braves are 52-36. They're 2.5 games behind the New York Mets, who are 54-33. The Atlanta Braves have the 3rd best record in the National League. The Dodgers, 50-29, the Mets, 54-33, and then the Braves, 52-36. Right behind the Braves are the Padres at 50-38. So let's go over the last 10 games. The Atlanta Braves are 7-3 over the last 10 games. If I just look down the National League, the Dodgers are 9-1 over the last 10. They won 7 in a row. And then you got the Braves at 7-3. 7-3. Okay. Let's go over to the American League real quick. The Yankees are 61-25. They're 14.5 games up over the Red Sox. Then you've got the Astros that are 56-29, and they're 12 games up on the second place Mariners. How sway? Let's look at the last 10 games of teams in the American League. You've got the Baltimore Orioles, who are 8-2 over the last 10 games. And guess what? They are 36 games behind the New York Yankees, but they're 8-2 over the last 10. Then you got the Astros, who are 8-2 over the last 10 games, and they are, 12 games up on the Mariners, and their record is 4 games better than the Atlanta Braves. I say all that to say, don't try to hit me with just random made-up stats that you pull out some arbitrary date and say, oh, yeah, the Braves are the hottest team over the last 2 weeks. No, they're not. In your head, maybe. But no, they're not. The Dodgers have won 7 in a row. The Yankees are running away from the entire Major League Baseball community, and the Astros have the second best record in baseball. Tell me where the Braves fit in again. And then there are folks that are like, oh, well, the Braves are going to be back in the World Series. It's going to be the Astros and the Braves, or the Yankees and the Braves. You sure? I think the Dodgers have something to say about that. And oh, yeah, by the way, the Braves are not over the Mets. Calm down, y'all. Calm down. Y'all won your little World Series last year. You still doing that inappropriate, racist tomahawk chop. Settle down, Sparky. Settle down. Y'all be all right. Y'all ain't even made it to the All-Star break yet. Calm down. Calm down. It's Talk Your Team Tuesday. So, yeah, if you can back your stuff up with some real facts, I'll take it. But when you come to me with nonsense, it's my job to hit it out of there to deep left field. All right. Summer League play. Again, the Rockets beat the San Antonio Spurs. We got some good glimpses out of Jabari Smith. You got some good glimpses out of Eason. Christopher has played well, talking about for the Rockets during this summer league. So Rockets will be back in action on Thursday when they take on Portland. I think that'll tip off at 8:30 if you want to check it out on ESPN3. All right, that's really all I have. I know folks want to talk more football. We're going to be making some adjustments to the schedule this week. I'm going to try and get Chris Gardner on tomorrow, Mr. Houston Roundball Review. I'm going to see if I can't get him on tomorrow. And then I've got a very special guest, Karita Parks, is going to be on with me on Thursday. And then Friday, Freestyle Friday, we'll see what happens there. But stay tuned. We'll let you know. As always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except meet me here tomorrow for Throwback for Winning Wednesday. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you soon right here on the lunch break.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Tuesday, July 12, 2022. Number 1. The January 6th House Select Committee will hold the next public hearing Tuesday morning. The focus is expected to be on what's called the marshaling of the mob. The Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol will hear testimony and evidence that includes Donald Trump's communications and coordination with extremist groups that led to the January 6th attack. One of the pieces of evidence will include Trump tweets in the early hours of December 19, 2020. One of the tweets read, "Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there. Will be wild." Number 2, last November, Pastor Corey Brooks began his 100-day winter-long campout on a rooftop to raise money for a $30 million community center on Chicago's South Side. Brooks' first 100 days were cold, uncomfortable, and perilous. During his camp-out fundraising effort, Reverend Brooks prepared meals over a cook fire and met with CEOs of major corporations. With less than half the funds raised, Pastor Brooks vowed to stay on top of the roof indefinitely. Last Wednesday, Illinois' former richest man, Kenneth Griffin, the founder and CEO of Citadel, put Pastor Brooks over the halfway hump with the largest donation to Project Hood in the form of $5 million. That gift brings the total to $18 million in the fundraising effort. Number 3, a federal judge Friday threw out a lawsuit by Missouri Republican Attorney General Eric Schmidt that blamed China for the coronavirus pandemic. U.S. District Judge Stephen Limbaugh ruled in this case federal rules prohibit a sovereign foreign entity from being sued in American courts. The judge noted earlier in the opinion the civil suit against China is one of many filed amidst the wreckage of the COVID-19 pandemic. Schmidt's office said it'll appeal the ruling. Number 4, As reported in a recent What You Need to Know newsletter, a 1955 warrant for Emmett Till's accuser, Carolyn Bryant Dunham, has been discovered in a box at the Lafleur County, Mississippi courthouse. Demonstrators have called for Bryant Dunham to be held accountable for one of the most horrific and publicized racial murders in U.S. history. Till's family and protesters want Bryant Dunham extradited to Mississippi to face those charges. Number 5. If you own a business and travel to locations where you'll be spending the night, here's what you need to know about deducting hotel expenses on your taxes. When you have overnight business travel, you generally deduct your costs of sustaining life for the day. Business days are also important in determining how much of your travel costs you may deduct. Read more about it in today's What You Need to Know newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. Be careful with your words. Once they are spoken, they can only be forgiven, not forgotten. Be gentle. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams and political contributor Cameron Riley as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SibylWilkes.com. Be informed.